By far the most requested dish I've had on my channel for the last 4 years, but I've never done it. This is my take on the classic pad thai. So pad thai, I've always been a little bit nervous about doing this recipe because there's so many different variations of it. Even when I've been to Thailand, everyone always says they do the best pad thai and their version is always the best. So here goes my version. Okay, it's not always going to be 100% authentic because I always like to try and change things to suit what I can get available in my local shops. So first thing first, you want some of these noodles. These are stick rice noodles. You want a decent handful of these per person. And all we're going to do is going to pass some hot water through there just to try and loosen these up somewhat. From seeing this done numerous times, the importance is in with your noodle. The noodle doesn't want to be overcooked, it wants to be slightly al dente, and we're going to carry on cooking that through the sauce in our pan. And we're using a pan like a wok, for instance, or something with a really nice high side, and you want that to be cooking at a pretty damn decent temperature. Oil-wise on this, a good dash of vegetable oil. Then we're going to add a quarter of a really finely diced red onion. And I think it's a general rule with this type of recipe is you only ever do one pad thai at a time. Don't try and do enough for 2 people. You want a clove of garlic, and then you're going to choose your proteins. For this, I'm going to use some really thinly sliced chicken breast, and I've just used about a quarter of a breast. So along with the chicken, what works really well for me is I've got some tofu, which I've just patted dry. Literally just a couple of seconds on there, and that chicken will be pretty much half cooked, which means we can add some of our different flavors. So we have got a good pinch of salt, we've got a pinch of white pepper, we have got a teaspoon of tamarind, a teaspoon of pickled radish, you can just get this online, a teaspoon of sriracha or chili sauce, and then a teaspoon of brown sugar. And then lastly, a pinch of crushed peanuts. We've got a good couple of splashes of fish sauce, and then lastly, we've got a small handful of our prawns or shrimp, whichever you want to use for this. Good mix around. We've got our noodles. So they are perfect. We're going to drag all the ingredients over to one side. And I'm going to crack 2 eggs just into here. Let the egg do its thing and you see it starts to thicken up. And now we're just going to quickly give that a little rub round just so it goes into a nice sort of scramble. And then lastly, we want to add our beautiful bean sprouts. We're going to stir back our noodles and get that all involved. And now you can see the big change in texture. You want it to be slightly drier. You don't want it to be too wet. Good stir round, making sure all those noodles have got a little kiss of that flavour going through. And then we go off with our heat. And that is good to serve up. So literally, plate, big load of our pad thai in the middle. I'm going to finish this off with a good scattering of our peanuts, a good quarter of a lime, spring onion over here. Just give that a little scatter to one side. A fresh chilli just over the top. But I'm just going to use a small scattering of our lovely fresh coriander just around the outside. And there we go. Look at it. It's just a thing of beauty. That is my variation of the classic pad thai. Look, if you recreate this one, you know what to do. Hashtag me as Haste Kitchen as always, and I'll see you next week. Cheers then, bye-bye.